Tonight on the County Line, we've got all your live and local news from Lawrence and Mercer counties.
On tonight's show, we've got the latest details about the possible sniper shootings in Mercer County.
The harsh weather has let up this week, giving people a chance to enjoy some fresh air. Reporters Sarah Bowers and Julie Stolze take a look at how county officials and residents deal with winter weather.
The Titans basketball team is headed for the playoffs. Later in the show, Sebastian Driver talks with head coach Larry Ondeko about his successful first season.
All these stories and more coming up. We're live.
We're local.
The County Line starts now.
Right behind me is the VFW 5286, or really what's left of it.
A vehicle accident knocked out most of the power in New Wilmington today.
Big Titan Town Sports congratulations to the Lady Titans.
Ice skating is a favorite activity for people of all ages.
For more information, you can pick up a pamphlet like this, which contains a map to the area.
Merriman was kind enough to take us up for a hot air balloon ride, so wish us luck.
Think of how often you use water each day.
Giving tree. Could you explain a little bit about that?
Good evening and welcome to another exciting edition of the County Line. I'm Ian Brown.
And I'm Megan Marshall. Later in the show, Crystal Schumacher talks to Betty Jones from the New Wilmington Area Chamber of Commerce in our Newsmakers segment. Plus, Sebastian Driver is back with Titan Town Sports.
When's the last time you took a good look at your car? State police are now asking anyone who is driving west along Route 358 between February 2nd and the 10th to check their vehicles for damage. 3 vehicles were struck by gunfire in the Clarks Hills area earlier this month. This week, police charged a 19-year-old man for firing a .22 caliber rifle at cars in Mercer County. Anchors, reporters, photographers, and directors returned to the job at WKBN Television in Youngstown late last week after they approved a new contract, after almost 2 months of being locked out of the station. That also means interns are back to work as well. 2 Westminster students are scheduled to begin internships, but a contract struggle between management and the NABET union kept them away. Members of the union spent the last few weeks on the picket line after the company locked them out. Union members agreed late last week to a new contract offering and returned to work. Station management had been running limited newscasts with non-union personnel during the dispute.
If you work in Newcastle, your taxes are on the rise. City Council approved an increase of 0.25% to the wage tax, raising it to 1.6%. All workers who earn their living within the city limits pay the tax. The city requested special permission from the state legislature to increase the tax to assist the pension fund in Newcastle. Before the approval, the 1% wage tax was evenly split between the city and the school district. Each continues to receive 0.5%. The increase is intended to help offset the $11 million unfunded liability in the pension fund.
Riders shouldn't expect public transportation in Newcastle to change very soon. The check that the Newcastle Transit Authority received from the U.S. Department of Transportation only covers about a third of the cost of one bus. The Transit Authority, who originally asked for $1.2 million, only received $100,000. They plan to keep saving until the buses can be purchased.
Of course, taking a bus isn't the only mode of transportation in our area. This week, reporter Sarah Bowers finds out how local road crews keep the streets of Lawrence and Mercer counties safe for all types of motorists. Then, reporter Julie Stolze talks to one man who benefits from the aftermath of winter weather.
Each year, the winter season carries with it the potential for bad weather and treacherous traveling conditions. The road crews play a major role in maintaining protection within the various communities. Joe Kanji of the Newcastle Public Works Department discusses how his company keeps the city streets ice-free.
We choose to use mainly salt to keep the roads free of ice. And when it snows an inch, 2 inches, whenever the need arises, we have the plows that will plow the streets and we'll salt them at the same time. And we try to keep them running with running waters, so that when people are traveling to and from work, emergency vehicles, they have the roads to travel on that are nice and clear.
After speaking to Kanji about the different methods their company uses to keep the streets of Newcastle safe, we went to a higher authority and talked to the Mercer County branch of PennDOT to see how they make their roads safer during the winter weather.
Maintenance manager for PennDOT in Mercer County, Dave Bullenbacher, says his company prepares for future mishaps by learning from past experiences.
We use history as on how we've taken care of our roads in our area. We do a lot of training. We have a specific training guide that we use for our personnel so they know the roads. They actually have a dry run in the fall so they know the roads are going to be on. We go over and we find out what kind of condition the roads, any hazards we're going to have. We take and we plan for the worst winter we've ever had. And consequently, last year was the worst winter we've ever had as far as being hard to fight snow and those type of things.
Bullenbacher tells us how his organization uses various resources to combat the bad weather.
But we watch the weather. We have the Weather Channel. We have weather alerts. We have live radar that we watch. We use other state agencies, and we use residents. We use people that call in and tell us when there's a problem. So we use all those tools to be as efficient as we can, and we know where the problem areas are, and that's where we try to address first, so that everybody is as safe as possible.
Kanji explains how the friendly attitude of the Newcastle community makes his job that much more enjoyable.
People are really happy with the streets, and they've called and thanked us, and I pass it along to Mr. Natal, Mr. Rooney. In a couple of cases, they've seen fit to write to the news and put it in the paper. They're thanking the Public Works Department for their being conscientious in their duties and keeping the streets clear.
Kanji credits his boss and co-workers for the positive reputation the Newcastle Public Works Department has earned over the years. Reporting for the County Line, I'm Sarah Bowers.
With temperatures finally rising above freezing, one other thing that's rising in our local area is, of course, the lines to car washes. I spoke to Jim Sabetto, owner of Jim's Brushless Car Wash in Newcastle, and he explains his booming business.
Wintertime is the busiest season. And when the sun comes out in the winter, car washes, all of them do well. Because it's all related to the weather. They throw the salt down for the roads and the cars get salty and the people don't want salt on their cars. And that's when I make my money for the whole year, because summertime is very slow.
One customer explains why she chooses to get her car washed automatically during this time of the year.
Well, it has all that salt on from them on the roads, and you want to get it off because it rusts the car.
One thing that you need to be careful of when getting your car washed is to make sure that the temperature is above freezing.
Whenever it's maybe 10 degrees or colder, though, I advise them to go and put it in the garage. Anyone coming in at those very rigid cold degrees, they know that they have to take precautions.
So like Sabetto says, you can expect longer lines at the car wash if we see some more sunny days. But that's the price to pay for having a clean car. Reporting in Newcastle in Lawrence County for the County Line, I'm Julie Stolze.
Pat and I found a local place where you can catch a glimpse of your favorite movie stars.
Find out where we went on the road this week when the County Line continues.
Okay, girls, at 3 o'clock.
What is he looking at?
Oh, it's so obvious. Captain Obvious has scored again. Open your window, say something.
Oh, he's really gonna down.
Hi. Hi.
Hey guys.
Hi.
I am an American. I am an American.
I am an American.
I am an American.
I am
An American.
I am an American.
I am American.
I am an American.
I'm an American.
I'm an American.
I am an American.
I am an American.
I'm an American.
I am an American.
I am an American.
Picture yourself at Westminster College. Westminster offers an educational experience that is second to none. We've been exceeding students' expectations for 150 years. Westminster combines the prestige of a national liberal arts college with the personal attention you deserve. Westminster is a national leader in graduation rate performance and is the most affordable national liberal arts college in Pennsylvania. Visit Westminster's beautiful 300-acre campus to experience an ideal learning environment. Succeed at Westminster College.
Welcome back. It's been a few months now since Pennsylvania repealed the mandatory motorcycle helmet law. So how's it going out on local roadways? As bikers now have the choice when it comes to using a helmet. Videographer Sarah Ubry took our cameras to bike night at Quaker Steak and Lube to find out.
Get your motor running. Head out on adventure. I think freedom of choice is very important. Free will's been around for thousands of years. Get your motor running.
My opinion is you should have your choice, because either way, just like a seatbelt, I think that also should be your choice whether you have it on or not. It just depends if it's your time to go or not. But I do wear mine.
A driver since 2000. I have a Harley Sportster. I didn't wear a helmet when I was in Daytona. I didn't wear one when I was in Ohio. I said I was going to wear one in Pennsylvania, but so far I haven't been very good. I do wear it at night, but during the day I choose not to wear one. I really like it, and I'm very happy that I have a choice.
I'm a driver. I've been driving for about 20 years. That's what I'm talking about.
And what do you think of the helmet law?
Well, I don't think much of it at all. I'm glad it was repealed. Let those who ride decide. Looking for adventure in whatever comes our way. Yeah, darling, go make it happen. Take the world in a loving embrace. Fly on the dust, explode into space.
Tandy are back on the road again. Grab your popcorn because this week they bring the big screen to the small screen.
Lights,
Camera.
action.
This week, Pat and I are on the road to Guthrie Theater in Grove City.
There aren't many theaters like the Guthrie around anymore, which is the main reason why it's such a community landmark.
Guthrie Theater has been through many changes since its opening in 1927.
We talked to owner Eric Thomas about how the Guthrie has managed to stay in the community for the past 75 years.
Guthrie opened in 1927, and originally it was a vaudeville theater house. So the stage still exists. The movie screen now sits on that stage. So there's been some big name vaudeville performers come through Grove City, but now it's all big screen movies. The talkies came about back in the late 20s, early 30s, and the original screen for the movies is actually painted on the back wall of the stage. Sometime after that, sometime I'm guessing in the late 40s, early 50s, they put another screen, the silver screen that you see down here in front. We try to book the movies that are going to attract the best audience, and our audience we feel is family-oriented here in Grove City and the surrounding areas, and Disney does very well here. Finding Nemo set records here this summer. I mean, there's just a whole list of movies, and we want to continue to bring some of the older movies back, and we're going to play more classics, and we want to bring new movies here as well. We premiere several movies a year. And we like to keep the big ones and the good ones keep coming. So I bought the business for two reasons. One, I like popcorn. And two, I wanted to see it continue. I wanted to see the lights stay on. And if the business has been, this theater has been entertaining Grove City since before I was born, and I want to see it continue after I die.
You get to meet a lot of interesting people. You actually have regulars, and you know when they're basically when they're coming. We got Monday regulars and Tuesday regulars, and depending on the movie, you know who they're coming with, what they're coming with, and that. So.
Pat, that was a really good show.
It was, and you know what? The popcorn's great too.
I love this popcorn.
Well, that's all for us at the Guthrie. We had a great time.
And the service was excellent.
Good night.
Good night,
Bye, guys.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for coming.
That's all for this week's edition. Look for Pat and I next week
on the road.
I think I'm definitely going to have to go out to Grove City and go see the Guthrie.
Get some popcorn.
Definitely. Megan and I are in here every week at the desk, and they get to go out every single week and go do something fun.
Yeah, not such a good deal. Just kidding. Later on in the show, find out about an upcoming event bringing job seekers to New Wilmington.
And Sebastian Driver brings us the Titan Town Sports Update and a live in-studio interview with the men's Titans basketball head coach. There's more County Line on the way. Stay tuned.
There's a better way to have fun with history. Visit americaslibrary.gov. Log on, play around, learn something.
The Lawrence County Humane Society believes in the safety of spaying and neutering your animals. Spaying and neutering can have many long-term benefits.
We at the Lawrence County Humane Society believe that all animals should be spayed or neutered. Many reasons why, but the biggest reason is that they will be a happier, healthier pet. Also, it alleviates the overpopulation problem.
Getting your animals spayed and neutered is one huge step in making sure that more animals are healthy and find loving homes.
I'm the best thing you ever had. Only thing I'm guilty of is giving you too much love. Making you crazy, making you rap, making me fall, making me suspect. Seem to think I'm playing her game. Don't you know her? This is me.
There's a better way to have fun with history. Visit americaslibrary.gov. Log on, play around, learn something.
Good evening. Thanks for sticking around for Titantown Sports. The biggest story of the next couple weeks is the men's basketball team and their recent success. All that success means one thing, a big home President's Athletic Conference playoff game next Thursday night. Reporter Ian Durham was down at practice this week to see how the Titans are gearing up for a march to the PAC tournament.
Thanks, Sebastian. The Titans are in the home stretch of their season. They're really gunning to get home court advantage for the PAC tournament. Junior Pat O'Connor tells me why home court advantage is so important for the Titans to be able to play their game.
We come home, we play a little tentative, but it's always better to play the playoffs and the championship on your home court, especially when you got all your fans, and I guess we got a DJ now, so it's always more exciting.
Now, Pat's brother Ben, a former Titan standout and current assistant coach, told us that one of the main reasons that home court advantage is so big is because of the parity in the President's Athletic Conference.
Well, the PAC teams 1 through 6 are all very, very good. Everybody from Teal to Grove City basically can beat anyone on any given night.
Now, Buzz Riddle Gymnasium hasn't been filled to capacity in quite some time, but former coach Jim Daffler remembers a time when the Titans used to fill every seat in the house.
We had a real rivalry with Geneva College when we were in NAIA District 18 at that point, and they had a great program, we had a great program, and several years our games meant so much in the regular season standings to see who was going to get home court in the playoffs. And the great thing about that was that students from both schools would attend. There was a lot of excitement about it, a lot of adults too, but certainly the students really got into those games.
Now, the Titans finish off their season Saturday at Bethany, but they look forward to returning to the house that Buzz built once, maybe even twice, during the PAC playoffs. Reporting for Titantown Sports, I'm Ian Durham. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Ian. I'm here with Coach Larry Ondega for our in-studio interview. Thanks for joining us, Coach. And you start the season off 2-8, and I remember 2 games specifically on the road, Penn State Barron and Frostburg State. And being the broadcaster, I thought, boy, this sure is going to be a real long year. And in your first season as a coach, how bad did it get?
Actually, probably not as bad as some people would think. The scores weren't very good. The results weren't very good. But I had said in our pre-game, our preseason media guide that we felt that the first month was going to be a tough one. We certainly weren't expecting to be 2-8, but with a new coaching staff, a few transfers, new freshmen, a few players that didn't come back from last year, and then the few players that we did have that stuck around from last year, we knew it was going to take some time to get that all together and get that all in sync. We thought we'd win a few more games, maybe 4 or 5 instead of the 2-8, but the kids stayed about as positive as you can when you're 2-8 and really hung together and sort of gave us the benefit of the doubt as a first-year coaching staff and felt that most of the things we had told them were coming true, and we told them that we were gearing up for January and hopefully a run at the PAC title and tournament.
Well, that 2-8 start now seems really like 3 or 4 seasons ago. Beginning around the turn of the year to beginning of 2004, you implement a new system, and I start off with a 7-game winning streak, just a great way to start the new year, and that kind of rolled into President's Athletic Conference play. And I think that the new system is what a lot of people want to key on, but to me to seem like confidence is through the roof right now with this team. Is it just the system, or is it something that happened in the locker room at practice?
Well, I think it was, certainly when we went to Georgia right towards the end of December, beginning of January, that's when we decided to go to this style of play a little more. There were a lot of factors that went into that. One of the factors was that we got a bunch of people healthy. Chris Hatch really wasn't healthy to begin the season. Eddie Pagry didn't play the first few games. And to play this style of ball, we really needed them healthy. So it took a while to get them not only back playing together, but in the style we wanted to play. So I think it was basically, I thought we did a good job as a coaching staff in getting the kids excited again about the turn of the season in the beginning of January, and on that trip of getting excited again about playing basketball.
Well, tell me about the system now. For the people at home who haven't seen it, explain kind of what it is, and if you're not, if you're a basketball purist, you might not love the way the Titans play, but if you sit in the gym, there's no way that you can't enjoy it.
Well, the number one thing is if you're a Titan fan, really you want to see us win, and you're not too worried about how the heck it happens. And we were going about it one way, and we were 2-8, and we're going about it another way, and we've won 10 of our last 14. So again, you got to give your kids a chance as a coach every time they go out there to win the basketball game. That's really what we were trying to do. It's not like we were winning games and just wanted to beat people worse. We were just trying to give our kids a chance to win basketball games. And again, in getting all our kids healthy and getting them all on the same page with our height, we were planning on pressing and playing a more up-style tempo anyway to begin the year. And the threes and the shooting, that just kind of progressed along with it because of our size and the fact that we did have some good shooters and just wanted to get them as many shots as possible. And again, when you're 2-8, one of your goals is to keep the kids interested, keep them focused, keep them positive, and we felt this was a way to go about it.
Looking at some of your box scores, you might win 119, 108, and people might not appreciate what you guys do defensively. Talk about how important your defense is to your offense.
Well, that's our number one key. We talk about it every day, the fact that our quote is that our defense dictates our offense. We can't do anything offensively unless we play the defense the way we want to play it. And that comes with nothing but hard work, supreme confidence that you can get that done, and then you got to just get out there, relax, and have fun.
All right, well, tell me quick. You were a player here, and you know what it's like to play in front of a jam-packed Buzz Riddle gymnasium. Does it make that big a difference?
Oh yeah, it does. It's exciting. I played in some of those games that they talked about, and having the fans and having the students down here is a great benefit. And hopefully next Thursday and Saturday we can have them here.
Well, there you have it from head coach Larry Ondeko, the Westminster College men's basketball team. He wants all the students out at Buzz Riddle Gymnasium. That home game will be Thursday night. The opponent and the time to be determined, but you can check it out on westminster.edu/athletics. I'm Sebastian Driver for Titans Sound Sports. That's it, but stay tuned. More County Line coming up next.
Traverse. Check us out on the web.
I'm open! Shoot it, Cassie! Shoot it!
There's a better way to have fun with history.
It's okay, Amelia.
Visit americaslibrary.gov. Log on, play around, learn something.
On 3. 1.
Titan Radio Digital 88.9 FM. I'm Erica Hink with you, and do you want brand new music? You got it right here on 89 FM.
Broadcast Communications at Westminster College. Check it out on the web at www.westminster.edu.
Welcome to Newsmakers. I'm Crystal Schumacher. So why will 500 people be packing into the Westminster College Gymnasium in a month? Well, you might think it's basketball, like Sebastian just mentioned, but you're wrong. It's the new Wilmington Area Business Expo, and it's coming to town. With me tonight is Betty Jones from the new Wilmington Area Chamber of Commerce. Thank you so much for being here tonight.
My pleasure.
Now, you've been working hard on this event.
Oh, yes.
Can you explain what a Business Expo is for those who just might not know?
Business Expo is an opportunity for businesses in the area, town of New Wilmington, and all local businesses to come together on one day, one time, one place here at Westminster College and display and show off their businesses to lots and lots of people who are going to be coming through. Last year we had 500 people come through, and this year we expect to have more. But they can set up a table, they can talk to prospective clients one-on-one.
Now, when is this event?
It will be held March 13th at the Westminster College Fieldhouse from 10 o'clock in the morning until 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Why is this event so important to our area?
There are a lot of businesses in New Wilmington that people are not aware of, and surrounding areas. You and I had talked a little bit earlier about businesses being in some home-based businesses. You can't just walk down the streets of New Wilmington or surrounding areas and see all the businesses there are. So I think when people walk in, they're going to be surprised. This year we already have over 90 businesses, and these are all local area businesses coming to show you what they do and what services they can provide and offer to you.
This is a free event, correct?
It is a free event. The way we advertise is it'll be in the local newspapers, both the Wilmington Globe and Newcastle News, when you can come and what the door prizes are. Each business that's coming is asked to bring a major door prize, and people can sign up, fill out their names for just those ones that they're interested in, and then they have a chance to win. So there's no fee other than that.
People love prizes, so I bet you'll get a lot of people. Now, how is this location a prime spot for this event?
Being held right here at Westminster College is a good opportunity because we could expand this year. Last year we did hold it at the Wilmington Area High School. We were only able to fit 55 businesses in. This year, by moving it to the college, we can expand it to 90. Plus it gives people the opportunity to come into town. Westminster is key in this community as far as jobs and opportunity, social and cultural events. So it gives them an opportunity to see that as well.
Now, this is a very small town, of course, as you know. So how do these businesses succeed in this town?
A lot of determination, a lot of help. That's one of the reasons why we have the Chamber. The Chamber is relatively new here in New Wilmington. We've only been in existence for a little over a year. And the reason it was formed is we want to plan. We want to keep New Wilmington as quaint as it is for the residents, but we also want to be able to own and operate businesses here in town without having to move out of the area. And with support from each other, we can do that.
Well, thank you so much for being here tonight. We've run out of time, unfortunately. Just to recap, the new Wilmington Area Business Expo is March 13th, and it's at the Westminster College Memorial Fieldhouse, and it's from 10 a.m. until 4 p.m. If you would like more information on this or the New Wilmington Area Chamber of Commerce, you can go to www.newwilmington.biz, or you can call Betty at 724-946-8821. Stay tuned after the break for more County Line.
I got a filet of sole and a cracked crab for Mr. Studied Higher Math back in school and now can order expensive lunches and charge it to the company.
Next office down the hall.
Well, thanks. Have a good one.
Ralph Hernandez, congratulations! You can now get college loans, government jobs, and job training. Men must register with Selective Service when they turn 18. Go to sss.gov or the post office.
It's the law.
Picture yourself at Westminster College. Westminster offers an educational experience that is second to none. We've been exceeding students' expectations for 150 years. Westminster combines the prestige of a national liberal arts college with the personal attention you deserve. Westminster is a national leader in graduation rate performance and is the most affordable national liberal arts college in Pennsylvania. Visit Westminster's beautiful 300-acre campus to experience an ideal learning environment. Succeed.
Be sure to join us next week for another edition of the County Line. We'll be breaking in for a live halftime newscast during the first round of playoffs for the Titans men's basketball team.
Be sure to tune in next Thursday evening for live coverage of the game, plus all your live and local news from Lawrence and Mercer counties. Have a great weekend. Tonight on the County Line, Sebastian Driver fills us in on Westminster's double dose of playoff fever in Titantown sports.
Reporter Julie Stolze takes a fresh look at a landfill controversy at a local state park, but is the controversy over?
Crystal Schumacher is back in the studio with a local newsmaker, while Pat and Tandy head out again on the road. We're live.
We're local.
The County Line starts now.
Right behind me is the VFW 5286, or really what's left of it.
A vehicle accident knocked out most of the power in New Wilmington today.
Big Titantown sports congratulations to the Lady Titans.
Ice skating is a favorite activity for people of all ages.
For more information, you can pick up a pamphlet like this, which contains a map to the area.
Merriman was kind enough to take us up for a hot air balloon ride, so wish us luck.
Think of how often you use water each day.
Giving Tree. Could you explain a little bit about that?
Coming up in the show, reporter Sarah Bowers shows us how developers are out to preserve the past and plan for the future in Newcastle. I'm Ian Brown.
And I'm Megan Marshall. How would you like to live right next to a landfill? How about a landfill next to your state park? Well, that might happen to some Lawrence County residents who live near McConnell's Mill State Park. The DEC did reject Seacon Industries' permit to transform a limestone quarry into a non-hazardous landfill, but the fight isn't over. Reporter Julie Stolze is at McConnell's Mill with a look at this ongoing controversy.
I'm at McConnell's Mill in Lawrence County, at probably the most popular part of the entire state park, which is just by the mill and the covered bridge. Just up the hill at the top of the canyon is a site where some developers want to open a landfill. McConnell's Mill State Park is like a home for many people, including kayaker Steve Blowskis. However, the freshwater where he kayaks may be put into jeopardy with the possibility of a landfill just 300 yards away from the state park. Blowskis from the Three Rivers Paddling Club says he's worried about a landfill potentially harming the water.
Well, I wouldn't like to see this beautiful park ruined. We have a 400-strong club that comes up here and enjoys this park every year. I mean, look, what's today, March? And we're up here enjoying it. And it would just, there's nothing else like it in this area.
Seacon Industries, owner of the 42-acre current limestone quarry, applied for a permit to convert the quarry to a non-hazardous landfill. The DEP rejected its application, and Seacon filed its appeal on August the 27th. Penn Future, a statewide public interest organization, is one of the many groups against the landfill. Its major concern is the long-term effects to the Slippery Rock Creek, which is a source of drinking water for about 40,000 people. One other group who is voicing their concerns about the landfill is the Three Rivers Paddling Club.
I know our club site, we're supposed to be going to protest against it. I know, you know how strong we feel about it. So we're definitely going to try everything we can in our part to solve it.
However, even if the Environmental Hearing Board decides against the landfill, board decisions can still be appealed to the state's Commonwealth Court. In order to get both sides of the stories, I did contact the Seacon Industries owners, and they had no comment at this time. Reporting from McConnell's Mill in Lawrence County for the County Line, I'm Julie Stolze.
Julie also contacted State Representative Frank LaGrotta, who says he plans to testify at the hearing on behalf of Friends of McConnell's Mill.
Earlier this week, Lawrence County District Attorney Matt Mangino withdrew from the Democratic primary. Mangino planned to run for Pennsylvania Attorney General, but says he does not have the money to spend on radio and TV campaigning. He is now in his second term as Lawrence County District Attorney. Mangino is also participating in a capital punishment debate tonight at Albright College in Reading, Pennsylvania. He'll be joined by Ray Crone, the 100th person sentenced to death that was officially exonerated since the death penalty was reinstated. Mangino and Crone will present opposing views on capital punishment.
Westminster College held a blood drive yesterday in the McKelvey Campus Center. Red Cross officials say the campus contributions helped meet nearly 75% of the goal. And as blood supplies continue to be low, some Lawrence County churches are holding more local drives. Mount Jackson Presbyterian Church in Newcastle welcomes donators from 1 to 7 p.m. next Friday, March 12th. The Jameson Hospital School of Nursing hosts a drive the following Friday, March 26th, from 10 a.m. until 4 p.m. And weekly drives take place at the Trinity Episcopal Church in Newcastle every Wednesday from noon to 5:30 p.m.
One film that's been stirring up quite a controversy made its debut last week. The Passion of the Christ is the center of widespread conflict nationally and locally. Reporter Ian Durham takes a closer look inside the movie and finds out what all the talk is about.
When people go to the movies, they usually get some popcorn, or maybe a drink and a few other snacks. They then watch a movie for entertainment. But how often does a movie come along that changes the way people think?
It has meant a lot to me, and I just recommend everyone to see it.
And we all got into a big group hug. Changed all our lives, swear to God.
The Passion of the Christ opened on February 25th. Directed by Mel Gibson, it depicts the last 12 hours of Christ's life. Because of the overwhelming success of this film, some were already thinking Oscar. Now, The Passion of the Christ was ineligible for this year's Academy Awards. However, in its first weekend, it brought in nearly $75 million. This has some people comparing this film to such blockbusters as Titanic and this year's huge Oscar winner, The Lord of the Rings: Return of the King. Assistant manager at Westgate Cinemas in Newcastle, James Pazzulli, says he thinks Passion of the Christ is an early frontrunner for the Academy Awards.
And carry the steam all the way to next winter, then I'm sure it could probably, pull through on some of the Oscars.
Pazzulli went on to comment about people's reaction to the film.
The majority of the people that come out are just, it's kind of a quiet, subdued, I mean, there's people, you see a lot of red eyes as they walk out, and there have been a couple that have broke down.
I'm here with Patrick Foley. He's a senior at Westminster. He just got out of the theater watching Passion of the Christ. Now, Patrick, could you tell me just your general reactions to the movie itself?
It was extremely powerful. I don't know how else to describe it. Very graphic, realistic. I've never seen the story portrayed in a way like that. It was very realistic. It was very well done.
Reporting for the County Line, I'm Ian Durham.
Motion pictures are over 100 years old. In just a minute, I'll take you inside an old Newcastle theater that's getting a second chance at life.
Okay, girls, at 3 o'clock.
What is he looking at?
Oh, so obvious. Captain Obvious has scored again. Open your window, say something.
Oh, he's really gonna down.
Hi. Hi.
Hey, guys.
Hi.
I am an American. I am an American.
I am an American.
I am an American.
I am
an American.
I am an American.
I am American.
I am an American.
I'm an American. I'm an American.
I am American.
I am an American.
I'm an American.
I am an American.
I'm an American.
Picture yourself at Westminster College. Westminster offers an educational experience that is second to none. We've been exceeding students' expectations for 150 years. Westminster combines the prestige of a national liberal arts college with the personal attention you deserve. Westminster is a national leader in graduation rate performance and is the most affordable national liberal arts college in Pennsylvania. Visit Westminster's beautiful 300-acre campus to experience an ideal learning environment. Succeed at Westminster College.
A historical landmark is getting ready to make a brand new start in just a few short months. It's all part of a huge project called the Cascade Riverplex in downtown Newcastle. The old Warner Brothers Theater that first opened at the turn of the 20th century is in the rebuilding stages and will once again open its doors to the public.
Not sure exactly how long. We researched it to about 1930.
Meet Jonathan Bruce. He's a partner at Tom George & Associates, the company that's helping rebuild one of Newcastle's best-kept secrets. The old Warner Brothers Theater that first opened in 1907 is being remodeled so it can once again bring motion picture entertainment back to this close-knit community. Bruce tells us why reopening the theater is important to him and the company he is a part of.
We're kind of history buffs. We like taking old buildings and remodeling them, and we like challenges because it's certainly been a challenge, this whole project. It's not something that's been easy for us at all. But we're here. We're local people. We believe in it.
As we walked through the construction site, we were able to catch a glimpse of how the theater will look after George & Associates have completed the revamping process.
They started out with one Nickelodeon, and by the end of that year in 1907, they had 2 Nickelodeons and 1 vaudeville. So they had a triplex within a year. So for sure the Nickelodeon is going to be reconstructed. That's what we're working on right now. We have the space and we've laid out for the second Nickelodeon. We're just trying to figure out a program for that. And then the vaudeville theater is being constructed right now.
Not only is this project important historically for these workers, it reaches them on a personal level as well.
our hearts are here. This is where our families live. This is where we've raised kids. So we think there's an important aspect to redeveloping a downtown area. So it's important to us from that standpoint, and we believe in the project.
When it's all said and done, the theater end of the entire project will have cost nearly $10 million. Opening of the Warner Brothers Theater is tentatively scheduled for this upcoming summer. Reporting for the County Line, I'm Sarah Bowers.
Last year, many members of the Lawrence County community auditioned to play extras on the NBC series The West Wing. And now a different series is searching for a location to shoot. Recently, a production agency contacted the Lawrence County Tourist Promotion Agency about possibly filming an upcoming TV series in our area. The Lawrence County Tourist Promotion Agency says the production company is looking for a spooky-looking mansion with at least 10,000 square feet of living space and 6 to 7 bedrooms. Digital photos of the location are required. Any leads on a mansion or a large home in the area should contact Assistant Director of the Promotions Agency, Janet Flatico, at 724-654-8408, or by email at jflatico@visitlawrencecounty.com.
Pat Sandora and Tandy Lane are no strangers to Lawrence and Mercer counties. This week they visit a new business that's helping people perk up before the daily grind.
There's a new hotspot in town that's creating quite a buzz.
This week, Pat and I are on the road to Muggsy's Coffee House in New Wilmington.
Morning, noon, and night, coffee lovers have packed Muggsy's since its opening in late 2003.
Muggsy's has greatly impacted the community, and owners Karen and Bo DiMuccio explain why.
We live here in town. I grew up here in New Wilmington. Went to high school here. Lived away for about 15, almost 20 years, and we moved back about a year and a half ago. Our whole family's here, and this has always been home. No matter where we've lived, this has been home.
Well, we wanted to have roots in New Wilmington, plus we really enjoy coffee, so we knew that there was a void of something fun to do. Lots of things that were fun to do in New Wilmington, so we decided to open something that we enjoy.
You know, when we started getting the idea to open a coffee house, of course we started to really study other coffee houses, both here in the area and elsewhere. I travel a lot, so I went and visited quite a number of coffee houses all over the country, and what you see here is really sort of an amalgam of every coffee house I've ever been into, all that's best about Starbucks and Gloria Jean's and Little Mom and Pop, and just kind of everything rolled into one. It may not be entirely original, but it's ours. This is the only one on the entire planet right now, but we definitely plan on expanding and opening more Muggsy's.
Well, Pat, I just learned how to make a raspberry mochaccino with a caramel and 2 shots of espresso.
That's great, but maybe you should lay off the caffeine for a little bit, Tan.
Maybe.
Well, no matter what your favorite drink is, you can catch it year-round here at Muggsy's.
That's all for this week's edition. Look for Pat and I next week
on the road.
Stay tuned. Coming up with Titan Town Sports. We'll be back in 90 seconds.
There's a better way to have fun with history. Visit americaslibrary.gov. Log on, play around, learn something.
The Lawrence County Humane Society believes in the safety of spaying and neutering your animals. Spaying and neutering can have many long-term benefits.
We at the Lawrence County Humane Society believe that all animals should be spayed or neutered. Many reasons why, but the biggest reason is that they will be a happier, healthier pet. Also, it alleviates the overpopulation problem.
Getting your animals spayed and neutered is one huge step in making sure that more animals are healthy and find loving homes.
I'm the best thing you ever had. Only thing I'm guilty of is giving you too much love, making you crazy, making you rat, making me fall. complainer again. Don't you know, to never hurt, this is me.
There's a better way to have fun with history. Visit americaslibrary.gov. Log on, play around, learn something.
Welcome back to Titantown Sports. I'm Sebastian Driver, and what a week for Westminster Athletics. Heartbreak, jubilation, letdowns, and pleasant surprises. It was more of an emotional roller coaster than an episode of Oprah with an even sprinkling of Dr. Phil. Not that I have ever watched either of those two wonderful programs. We start with a men's basketball team who, after claiming their first ever PAC championship Saturday, had an agonizing 36 hours to wait before the verdict came down on their postseason. The team invited our cameras along for the NCAA selection show. Here's a first-hand look from inside the Fieldhouse Sunday evening.
Right here on the floor of Buzzardle Gymnasium is where the Titans decided the outcome of more than half their games this season. But one outcome in which the Titans had no say at all was whether or not they made the NCAA Division III National Tournament. The 48-team field was announced Sunday night via the web in a live broadcast, for which the Titans all came down to the Fieldhouse to find out their postseason fate.
Welcome to the 2004 NCAA Division III Men's Basketball Selection Show, coming to you from the NCAA National Headquarters in Indianapolis, Indiana.
Westminster is in just their second year in the President's Athletic Conference, but because the PAC has only 6 teams, they do not receive an automatic bid to the national tournament. The NCAA mandates that a conference must have 7 teams before they can receive that automatic bid, so the Titans were forced to allow the selection committee to make that decision. And unfortunately for Westminster, they'll have to wait another year before they get to the national tournament.
Well, it was disappointing. Anytime you get excited about something like that quickly, then you know it's a possibility. When you don't see your name pop up, it's disappointing. And at the same sense, it was really exciting. It was exciting to be in that room and have the opportunity. Like I told the guys, if we had told you when you were 2-8 that you'd even be sitting here talking about this, you would have said it was a pipe dream. So all in all, it was a good experience last night. And again, like I told the guys, hopefully next year we'll be sitting there a little more positive that our name's going to come up.
So the Titans don't make the big dance, but Monday afternoon, the Big Bad Blue found out they'd be heading to Reading, Pennsylvania. That is Wednesday night for the first round of the ECAC tournament. Of course, we were there with the exclusive highlights from last night's game.
Titans head to Alvernia College, home of the 20-5 Crusaders, for a first-round ECAC matchup, the first postseason game for the Titans since the 1995-96 season when they went to the NAIA National Tournament. Early on, Dom Joseph getting to work. Moves past Ray Strickland for a nice layup. Dom scored the first 4 points on what looked like was going to be a great night for the Newcastle High product. Later on, Strickland would do some work of his own. Here, a three-pointer, 19 first-half points for Alvernia's best player, and something that wasn't going the way of the Titans, a three-point shooting. And you know they live and die by the three. There's a miss. Good hustle to get the offensive board, but another miss, and it was just the story of the first half. 2 of 21 from beyond the three-point arc. But despite all that, the Titans trailed by just 9 going into the locker room, but they had their work cut out for them in the second half, and Westminster just couldn't get it done. More three-point shooting struggles. The Titans end up 8 of 44 for the ballgame and lose 74-57. Assistant coach Ben O'Connor says despite the loss, a very important game.
Very important. Every game you can get after the regular season is very, very important. And, it's disappointing to get a postseason game and have that kind of effort, but I guess you can't be successful until you mess up, and whether that's messing up execution and basketball-wise or just not coming ready to play, and hopefully they'll grow from it and we'll get better for next year.
The men's team, of course, not the only successful squad in the Westminster Athletic Department. The Lady Titans were ladies in waiting Monday, waiting to hear if they got into the women's ECAC tournament. They did, and we were at practice to recap the Lady Titans' amazing season.
Make no mistake about it, the Lady Titans have had an absolutely awesome year. They finished here 15-10, but after a semifinal loss in the PAC tournament, a shot at the postseason was really a long shot. Now, one of the reasons the Lady Titans had such a great year, Erica Tallow averaged a double-double for the season. For her effort, she was named first-team All-President's Athletic Conference. Not too many seniors on this team, just 2. One of them, Rena Payros, started early on in the year and then became one of the Lady Titans' real go-to players coming off the bench. A lot of youth on the team. Nicole Fee, Desiree Sterling, Rachel Eaton, just a few of the freshmen. Desiree Sterling named not only PAC Freshman of the Year, but also second team all-conference. Another individual honoree, Mary Jane Eaton, who was named honorable mention all-PAC and Coach of the Year, or Co-Coach of the Year, I should say, Roseanne Scott. After turning this program around 10-17 a year ago, she was named Co-Coach of the Year with her former college coach, Bethany's Gina DeRuba. The Lady Titans getting it done and make it to the postseason.
Like the men, the ladies also fall in the ECAC first round last night. The final score 55-53 against Lebanon Valley College. Erica Tallow chalks up her 17th double-double of the season in the loss. You heard how the Lady Titans did in the postseason awards for the President's Athletic Conference, but how did the men's team do? Not well enough, my personal opinion. Regular season PAC champions, conference tournament champions, and yet the Titans land only one player on the all-PAC first team. As Dickie V would say, are they serious, baby? Mark DeMonico, the lone first team pick. The Drehos brothers of Bethany, also Tanner Prosser and Matt Phillips of Grove City. Those round out the conference's top five. Eddie Pegley, a top five scorer and PAC leader in steals, and Pat O'Connor makes second team. Chris Hatch and Dom Joseph are an honorable mention. But back to Mark DeMonico for a moment. Let's compare his stats to those of PAC's MVP, Matt Drehos of Bethany. Just for fun, let's take a look at the stats. More points for DeMonico, the conference's leading scorer. Sure, Drehos out-rebounds DeMonico. He's also 10 inches taller than Mark. And of course, DeMonico's second in the PAC in assists compared to a big fat not ranked for Drehos in that category. I'm just saying, Mark DeMonico, give me the double deuce jersey. Here we go, the double deuce. We're living the dream, kids. Ladies and gentlemen at home, Mark DeMonico, you are my President's Athletic Conference MVP. Quickly now, congratulations to the Newcastle girls basketball team. They become the first ever Lawrence County girls squad to claim a WPIAL championship as they beat Dynasty Oakland Catholic 36-32 Saturday. The Red Hurricane men's team will take on George Jr. in the first round of the state playoffs here at Westminster College Saturday. We'll bring you highlights of that game next week. And the swim team here at Westminster College had yet another successful season. Men placed second at the PAC swimming championships, while the women rack up their second straight conference title. That's it for Titan Town Sports. I'm Sebastian Driver. County Line continues after this.
Titan Traverse. Check us out on the web.
I'm open! Shoot it, Cassie! Shoot it!
There's a better way to have fun with history.
It's okay, Amelia.
Visit americaslibrary.gov. Log on, play around, learn something.
On 3. 1.
Titan Radio Digital 88.9 FM. I'm Erica Hink with you, and do you want brand new music? You got it right here on 89 FM.
Broadcast Communications at Westminster College. Check it out on the web at www.westminster.edu.
Welcome to Newsmakers. I'm your host, Crystal Schumacher. Do you know a visually handicapped person who needs your help? Many people with eye problems or vision loss could be helped in a variety of ways. With me tonight is Larry Nord, the Executive Director of the Lawrence County Association for the Blind. Thank you so much for being here tonight.
Crystal, thanks for having me.
No problem. Now, what mission do you have for this year?
Our big mission for this year is to promote the low vision areas of the association, to concentrate more on exposing people to what is available in low vision. And I must say we're very fortunate in this area to have some excellent ophthalmologists and optometrists to work with, but we're going to give some extra special effort in this area this year.
Now, who is eligible to receive benefits?
Well, really, anyone. We're a private nonprofit agency, so anyone who has a vision problem is eligible. We're limited only by being a nonprofit, limited by finances and by staff, but anyone who has a vision problem should make contact with us, and we can probably give them great assistance and direct them towards the Bureau of Blindness and Visual Services, which is a state agency, and many other things that are available. But anyone who has a vision problem should get in contact with us.
Now, your organization is definitely on top of things in terms of resources. Could you tell me a little bit about your latest technologies?
Well, yes. As a matter of fact, at the current time, we are in the process of developing I hate to call it a store, but because it sounds like we're doing something commercial, but making available to people many different, I call them gimmicks, but many technological things. A new thing that we just purchased called a Geordie. And it's used by many people who have macular degeneration. And one of the things I have to say, Crystal, is everything doesn't help everyone with a vision problem. They have to come in, they have to try the different things we have available. We have a MagnaCam, we have a closed circuit television, and things like that for people to see. And there are all kind of color combinations on these that they may be able to see a blue on green or a purple on yellow, but they have to come in and try. We don't pretend to say that we can help everyone with a vision problem, but we have these things available for them to see, and I would hope that anyone with a vision problem would get in contact.
Now, what other types of services do you offer your clients? I know that you were talking earlier about the quality of life and the life skills programs.
Well, we have ongoing programs, but one of the things that we do through our staff, through volunteers, is, of course, transportation. We don't try to replace any family member, but sometimes because of work schedules and what have you, people need to be transported. And one of the things we provide, which some of the other agencies do not, is the fact our drivers act as escorts. And it's imperative that a person not be taken to Veterans Hospital like to Pittsburgh and be dropped off because they may have great difficulty in finding their destination. So drivers act as escorts, volunteers act as escorts, and that is a major part of the service.
Now, when I came in earlier to visit the building, I noticed boxes of eyeglasses. Could you explain this program?
Be happy to. We receive donated glasses from many, many different sources, and they're not cataloged, but they're placed according to bifocals, men's, women's, and people who have need can come in and try them on. They're free to them. They take them. I want to emphasize they take them, and they decide for themselves what they need. At that point, the Lions Clubs of Lawrence County have a program to get glasses for the needy, and we try to get them involved with that.
Well, thank you so much for being here tonight. Hopefully you'll be helping a lot more people in the community. For more information on the Association for the Blind, you can call them at 724-652-4571 or go to their building at 319 North Jefferson Street. Coming up next is Moore County Line.
I got a filet of sole and a cracked crab for Mr. Studied higher math back in school and now can order expensive lunches and charge it to the company.
Next office down the hall.
Well, thanks. Have a good one.
Ralph Hernandez, congratulations! You can now get college loans, government jobs, and job training. Men must register with Selective Service when they turn 18. Go to sss.gov or the post office.
It's the law.
Picture yourself at Westminster College. Westminster offers an educational experience that is second to none. We've been exceeding students' expectations for 150 years. Westminster combines the prestige of a national liberal arts college with the personal attention you deserve. Westminster is a national leader in graduation rate performance and is the most affordable national liberal arts college in Pennsylvania. Visit Westminster's beautiful 300-acre campus to experience an ideal learning environment. Succeed.
Next week, the County Line is back with all your live and local news.
In Titan Town Sports, Sebastian Driver will have a preview of all the upcoming action as spring sports begin.
Diet crazes are sweeping through the area. We'll take a look at how local restaurants are keeping up with the demand for a slimmer, trimmer look.
And with the weather warming up, tourists will be rolling into nearby Volant.
I thought it was Volant.
No, I'm pretty sure it's Volant.
I'm pretty sure it's Volant.
Well, either way, we're going to get into this whole deal next week to find out the real pronunciation.
See you next week.
Have a good night.
goes on exclusively on...
Tonight on the County Line, another problem over at McConnell's Mill this week. We'll tell you what's going on and how the commissioner plans to fix it.
And one sixth grader is creating a lot of buzz over in Sharon. We'll tell you why coming up.
One favorite activity around here is shopping in nearby Volant, or is it Volant? Reporter Ian Brown helps clear up this common mispronunciation.
Our Newsmaker segment will tell you how you can help out the community by lending a hand to some of our smaller residents.
And as always, Sebastian Driver is here with all your Titan Town sports.
We're live.
We're local.
The County Line starts now.
Right behind me is the VFW 5286, or really what's left of it.
A vehicle accident knocked out most of the power in New Wilmington today.
Big Titan Town sports congratulations to the Lady Titans.
Ice skating is a favorite activity for people of all ages.
For more information, you can pick up a pamphlet like this, which contains a map to the area.
Merriman was kind enough to take us up for a hot air balloon ride, so wish us luck.
Think of how often you use water each day. Giving Tree. Could you explain a little bit about that?
Good evening and welcome to this week's edition of the County Line. I'm Julie Stolze.
And I'm Sarah Bowers. Although McConnell's Mill is still waiting a word on a potential landfill, it's run into some more problems last week. On Friday, a hemlock tree fell into the covered bridge at McConnell's Mill State Park from a severe storm. Officials say the bridge suffered major damage and will remain closed until it's repaired. Today, Commissioner Ed Fosnot declared the situation an emergency, allowing the community to make quicker actions to repair the bridge. Fosnot says he hopes to have the bridge fixed for tourists and park regulars as soon as possible.
With McConnell's Mill Bridge suffering from severe weather damage, the Lawrence County Emergency Management Agency would like to remind residents that this upcoming week is the statewide weather emergency preparedness observance. The county recommends that everyone have an emergency kit, all containing the following items that allows families to survive without outside help for at least 72 hours. The kit should include water, high-energy, ready-to-eat foods, personal medications, a first aid kit, blankets, a change of clothing, flashlights, a battery-operated radio, and fresh batteries. It's also important to understand the difference between a weather watch and a weather warning. A weather watch means that there's a possibility of severe weather. A weather warning means that severe weather is imminent and people should take the proper precautions. The Weather Emergency Preparedness Week lasts until March the 15th until March the 21st.
One small town is stirring up a local controversy, the nearby town of Valant.
I thought it was called Valant.
No, I'm pretty sure it's Valant, but this summer they're celebrating 20 years of being one of the best shopping spots in the area. Reporter Ian Brown went to find out exactly how to pronounce the name.
I pronounce it Volant.
I pronounce it Valant.
Volant. Volant. I don't know. Valant.
Valant.
I pronounce it Volant.
Now, first-time visitors of the town, when they show up, they might not know how to say the name of the town. But the locals that live and work here really have no problem helping them along with the right pronunciation. Cheryl Geithner has owned a shop in Volant in the town for 7 years. She's surprised because her shop and the rest of the shops in the town attract people from all over the country into the small area. People who aren't quite sure how to say the name of the town.
I pronounce it Valant. Well, I just think that's what the locals have always called it. And, you know, everybody that's from around this area calls it Valant. I think it's like the simple way to say it.
Shopping isn't the only reason people come to the town. Many people, just like Dennis Best of Eastbrook, might not be found at work, but rather at a much more enjoyable activity, like fishing.
Yes, I believe that the people who are from out of town, they say Volant. I don't know if they think it gives it more of a prestigious sound or aura to the town, but it's Volant. My friends from Erie and Pittsburgh, they say Volant. I think there's just people like to visit here every once in a while. I don't know, that's just how they pronounce it.
Now, for whatever reason you decide to come visit Volant, or Volant, you know, it's always going to be a good time. There's antique shops, plus it's right next to the Neshannock Creek. Or the Neshannock Creek. Or the creek. Maybe it's Crick. This story's really never going to end. Reporting for the County Line, I'm Ian Brown. Back to you in the studio.
Now that we know what it's called, many people from the tri-state area come to Valant to fly fish. The streams of the Neshannock Creek were stocked last weekend. Reporter Crystal Schumacher went to Valant where she got a chance to reel in a good time.
I'm Crystal Schumacher, and today I'm in Neshannock Creek in Valant, where many people come to partake in the art of fly fishing. So come with me and let's talk to some people about their favorite pastime.
I first spoke to Bob Shuey, the owner of Neshannock Creek Fly Shop. He told me that fly fishing is a year-round sport. Shuey has lots of fishing experience and says he's been outdoors most of his life.
I started fly fishing when I was 14 years old. I probably became a true fly fisherman by the time I was 16.
Shuey also told me how fly fishing can be a great experience for the whole family.
I mean, it's a nice area for families to come to. There's dining, there's shopping, there's fishing. So it's a nice area for families to come to enjoy a weekend or a day.
Neshannock Creek is one of Lawrence County's hot spots for fly fishing, and people from all over the tri-state area come to try it out. John Vlad is from Warren, Ohio, and says he's been coming to this creek for 10 to 15 years. Today he started a new tradition with his son-in-laws, Brian Anandano and Steve Schubert. Schubert says he's enjoying this location.
Love it. It's peace. That's all it is. It's quiet, it's pleasant, it's comfortable. It's just a great time.
Fly fishing is an expensive pastime and costs from anywhere from $250 to $500. Some must-haves for fly fishing are your waders, tackle, flies, and of course your rod, reel, and fly line. Also, a lesson or two before you begin is beneficial.
Neshannock Creek Fly Shop offers lessons like the one shown here. They were also nice enough to let me borrow some waders so I could hop into the water and try my hand at the sport. John Vlad also helped me by letting me use his rod and gave me tips and encouragement. And it must have been my lucky day.
So how's this for my first time fly fishing?
I wonder if the other first-timers to Neshannock Creek had as much luck as I did.
If you're looking for a new pastime, why not try fly fishing? For the County Line, I'm Crystal Schumacher. Coming up after the break, our On the Road team is back this week and will show you a great place to help you get ready for the spring season.
Please stay tuned.
Okay, girls, at 3 o'clock.
What is he looking at?
Oh, it's so obvious. Captain Obvious has scored again. Open your window, say something.
Oh, he's really sent it down.
Hi. Hi.
Hey, guys.
Hi.
I am an American. I am an American.
I am an American.
I am an American.
I am
an American.
I am an American.
I am American.
I am an American. I'm an American. I'm an American. I am an American.
I am an American.
I'm an American.
I am an American.
I am an American.
Picture yourself at Westminster College. Westminster offers an educational experience that is second to none. We've been exceeding students' expectations for 150 years. Westminster combines the prestige of a national liberal arts college with the personal attention you deserve. Westminster is a national leader in graduation rate performance and is the most affordable national liberal arts college in Pennsylvania. Visit Westminster's beautiful 300-acre campus to experience an ideal learning environment. Succeed at Westminster College.
Ford is recalling more than 1 million Taurus and Mercury Sable sedans, citing problems with brake lights and air filters. Recall number 04S11 is to replace the air filters on every 2003 Taurus and Sable vehicles. The air filter paper sometimes smolders and even burns. Recall number 04S12 is on all 2000 Taurus and Sable vehicles and 2001 through 2003 Taurus and Sable vehicles equipped with adjustable pedals. This recall is to fix the brake light switch and wire harness. The faulty brake lights have caused at least 2 accidents and 1 injury. Ford expects to begin notifying customers about the recall right away. If you have one of these cars, you can take them to your local dealership for repair. If you need more information on these recalls, you can go to www.ntsb.gov.
Looking for a place to swim or dance those winter weather pounds away? Our On the Road team is back this week to show you a great place to get in shape.
This week I'm on the road to the FH Buell Club in Sharon, Mercer County, where they're celebrating their 100th year anniversary. The club offers athletic programs to the community for all ages. Administrative Assistant Kathy Janusko explains why the club is so special.
Oh, Frank Buell and Julia Buell in 1903. They had no children. Like I explained, it's taking you through the building, that they wanted somewhere safe for people in the community to be able to go. And you saw the building, it's beautiful, the old part, and I just think it's pretty amazing. 100 years, we're still here. Hopefully 100 years, it will still be here for our kids. But I think the wellness center is sort of neat to see that area because it's all the high school kids, it's adults. You have young and old in there. We're really lucky because UPMC went partnership with them. And I think it's been like a great merger. It's great for the community.
Working with people is great. You just meet so many different people of all different age groups. We deal with a lot of kids, and you have people your own age that you interact with, and you have people that are your parents' age, and you have people that are your grandparents' age, and it's just on and on and up. You never stop meeting new people and learning different things.
This is not just a child facility. This is not just for adults. This is family recreation. And I think that's at the end of the night, if I can say yeah, I did the best I could, and I hope that I'm making a difference. That's what that's what it's all about. you never know what a child's going to take away, is how I look at it. Like, it's neat. I explain them. Sometimes, you'll say something to a kid and they don't even realize. Like, you or I might say, and it's nothing. Those kids walk away, and that might have clicked. You might have been the person that made the difference.
After taking a tour of the Buell Clubs, it's easy to see why they've been benefiting the community for the past 100 years. That's all for this week's edition. Look for Pat and I next week on the road.
One sixth grader is causing a lot of buzz over in Sharon. Jasmine Al-Nobani from West Hill Elementary School in Sharon is gathering a lot of buzz after winning last Saturday's 16th annual Herald Spelling Bee. The Spelling Bee was held at the University of Pittsburgh Sharon campus. It had more than 45 competitors from 4th to 6th graders from Lawrence, Mercer, and Trumbull counties. Al-Nobani won the Spelling Bee after her opponent misspelled Hamadazun. She then spelled that correctly and hemogamy to spell her title. Al-Nobani says she began studying after the last Spelling Bee ended.
Coming up next on the County Line, Crystal Schumacher is back with our Newsmaker segment focusing on big brothers and big sisters of Lawrence County.
But first, Sebastian Driver is here with your Titantown sports and some high school highlights.
Please stay tuned.
There's a better way to have fun with history. Visit americaslibrary.gov. Log on, play around, learn something.
The Lawrence County Humane Society believes in the safety of spaying and neutering your animals. Spaying and neutering can have many long-term benefits.
We at the Lawrence County Humane Society believe that all animals should be spayed or neutered. Many reasons why, but the biggest reason is that they will be a happier, healthier pet. Also, it alleviates the overpopulation problem.
Getting your animals spayed and neutered is one huge step in making sure that more animals are healthy and find loving homes.
I'm the best thing you ever had. Only thing I'm guilty of is giving you too much love, making you crazy, making you rat, making me fall, making me suspect. Seem to think I'm playing her game. Don't you know her? This is me.
There's a better way to have fun with history. Visit americaslibrary.gov. Log on, play around, learn something.
Good evening and welcome to Titantown Sports. I'm Sebastian Driver, and just as the local college basketball season came to an end last week, the high school basketball schedule picked up a couple notches. We are now into the state playoff phase of the PIAA tournament. Lots of local teams in action. We'll start you off with a program that gave Westminster fans Ed Pegley, Dom Joseph, and Mark DeMonico. The Red Hurricanes of Newcastle opened their season at Buzz Riddle and hoped Saturday that their season wouldn't end in the same spot against George Jr. Two local teams on hand for this one. Newcastle always travels extremely well. They had Buzz Riddle Gymnasium packed to the gills. And early on for Newcastle, a little bit of a different style here. Two different shoes. That's Keenan Moore. He was one of the few bright spots on the afternoon for the Red Hurricanes. 19 points, 13 in the first half. Here's the difference in the game, though. The height of George Jr. Brandon Stolze, a 6'7" center, really dominated the game, clearing the boards extremely well. The Tigers off and running, lots of fast break points, especially in the second half. This is not a replay, just great ball movement by George Jr., and they pretty much outmatched Newcastle on this one. The game comes to an end. The final score, 87-58. George Jr., the two very different faces of playoff basketball. One team moving on, and the other going home. Newcastle season ends with a 16-11 mark. So we got one local team down in the first round, but Grove City, the District 10 AAA runner-up, was still live Tuesday night taking on Whitfield champ Moon. Lights, camera, playoff action. We head to Butler for this second-round PIAA matchup, and all year long for Grove City, their go-to guy has really been senior Mike Johnson. Johnson considering a couple schools for college, one of which Westminster. Boy, he would look great in Titan blue. You'll see why later. Early on, though, Grove City really had some struggles from the field. Here, the coach's son, Jordan Fee, drives into the lane. Nice dish. But again, Grove City can't finish. Dan Peck with the miss there. Grove City continues to struggle from the field. Here's Johnson himself into the paint. Nice athletic try, but no good. 4 or 5 missed layups in the first quarter for Grove City, it would really come back to haunt them. Dominic Mano drives for Moon, dishes it to Ryan Helfrich, who nails the 16-foot baseline jumper, and Moon jumped out to an early 18-8 lead at the end of the first quarter. One of the only reasons Grove City was able to keep in it, Ryan King, number 15, a sophomore forward, here with the hoop in the arm. He's fired up. It's playoff time. When else are you going to be emotional? 11 first-half points for the sophomore, playing well beyond his years. 27-21 at the half. Grove City down by just 2 possessions, and they'd claw back into it some more. Here, Fee produces from the corner. A big three-pointer again for the coach's son. And the Eagles would continue to try and claw back into it. They'd have some more success, and why? Because of Johnson. Here, Dan Peck with the drive, throws it strong up off the glass, but Johnson with a great play, the tip in, and Grove City would eventually get it all the way down to 4, but the Eagles could not cut it any closer. Here, MJ Knight with the drive, he gets fouled, and MJ, a great basketball nickname, and a great finish there. Grove City season end, but nothing to be ashamed about, 20-plus wins, and a District 10 title for the Eagles. Local teams falling left and right, but surely Kennedy Catholic could break the trend. The Golden Eagles are a dynasty of sorts. Remember, they made it to the Western Final last year before falling to a Union squad that was a team of destiny. Kennedy Catholic versus Vincentian Academy. Here are the highlights. Slippery Rocks, Morrow Fieldhouse for this second-round PIAA matchup in the Single-A classification. And in Single-A, no dynasty like Kennedy Catholic. Boy, they've won 7 straight District 10 titles. Through the half of this one, not much scoring, just 37 points between the two teams, so not a whole lot of offense, but an awful lot of defense. Early on in the second half, Vincentian Academy gets it going here from the corner with a 3. Vincentian would lead 35-29 in the fourth quarter, but like all champions do, the Golden Eagles would make a comeback. Here, Sharon Somerville with the steal, dishes it to Seamus Reinhold, and on the inbounds play, Reinhold gets a steal and draws the foul. The crowd goes nuts. They're living the dream. Their team making a postseason late charge. More Somerville here on the baseline. Stops, pops, hops, goes. And the Eagles would take the lead on that possession. But after a foul, it would be Dave Theis on the line. He made the first, rattles home the second to give Vincentian Academy a 1-point lead. It would come down to this possession. 4.7 seconds on the clock. The inbounds play would go terribly awry for the Golden Eagles. The ball out of bounds. Vincentian Academy comes away with the win. The final score, 38-36. Another local team out of the playoffs. All things told, a tough week for teams from Lawrence and Mercer counties, but that shouldn't mar some of the great seasons that were had. So I'm going to put it in your hands. Our first ever Titantown Sports Internet poll. Who do you think had the best season of all? Kennedy Catholic men's squad, the boys from Grove City, a 20-win year. Ladies from Newcastle, they chalked up a whippy old title. Shenango boys and George Jr. round out the choices. But if you have another suggestion, by all means, pray do tell. To get involved, send an email to drivers@westminster.edu. That's DRIVERS, just like truck drivers. And one lucky voter will get a special Titantown Sports prize pack. All right, real quick, our buzzer beaters. The spring season is about to get kicked off in the Westminster Athletic Department, and both baseball and softball will be headed to the Sunshine State. Next time we meet in 2 weeks, we'll have a complete spring season preview. That's it for Titantown Sports. County Line continues after this.
Titan Traverse. Check us out on the web.
I'm open! Shoot it, Cassie! Shoot it!
There's a better way to have fun with history.
It's okay, Amelia.
Visit americaslibrary.gov. Log on, play around, learn something.
On 3. 1.
Titan Radio Digital 88.9 FM. I'm Erica Hink with you, and do you want brand new music? You got it right here on 89 FM.
Four, three, two, one. Broadcast communications at Westminster College. Check it out on the web at www.westminster.edu.
Welcome back to Newsmakers. I'm Crystal Schumacher. Big Brothers, Big Sisters is a mentoring program that is helping to make a difference to the youth in our community. Did you know that a child with a mentor is more confident in their schoolwork and is less likely to begin using drugs or alcohol? With me tonight is Susan Rozak from the Lawrence County chapter of Big Brothers, Big Sisters to discuss the organization and upcoming fundraiser. Thanks so much for being here tonight.
Thanks for having me here tonight.
So could you tell me the purpose of Big Brothers, Big Sisters?
Yes, actually, Big Brothers Big Sisters is a national organization, and nationally they're celebrating their 100 years of service. In Lawrence County, we've been serving the area a little bit shorter of a time. We're celebrating our 10 years of service. The purpose is to add somebody extra in the life of a child that may need it. The kids in our program are considered at risk of possible negative behaviors in their future. So what the volunteers do is they come in, become a friend to the child, encourage them to do better in school, help them make goals for their future, teach them new hobbies, and be somebody extra to show support and to spend time with them.
Now, April 3rd, you have a fundraiser. Could you tell me a little bit about that?
This is our big fundraiser for the year. It brings in about 30% of our yearly budget. It's called Bowl for Kids' Sake, and that is nationally what all the Big Brother, Big Sister agencies do as a big fundraiser. Like you said, it's taking place on April 3rd at Colonial Bowling Lanes on Wilmington Road in Newcastle. And what we're looking for is for people to come out and form teams to bowl. Teams are 4 to 6 people. We're looking for sponsors, businesses to sponsor us. We have 3 different levels of sponsorship. The day entails a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun for a good cause. We have entertainment there that day. You bowl, you get a t-shirt. We have lunch provided by Pizza Joe's, a DJ. We have some students here from Westminster that are going to be face painting and spending time with the kids, so it ends up being a real good time.
Now, this is your 10th year of doing this.
Yes.
And this is your biggest fundraiser.
Absolutely. Last year we brought in $26,000, which has nearly doubled in about 4 years.
Now, what other types of fundraisers do you do?
We've had softball tournaments. We do those in August every year. We're on our 3rd annual. We do other little fundraisers through the year, such as selling candles, little things that come along, car washes, anything that different youth groups and school groups can help us with. But this is definitely our major fundraiser.
Now, you mentioned that a lot of Westminster students are involved as bigs. For example, Craig Carlin, who's our graphic artist for the show, he was Big Brother of the Year.
Yes.
So could you tell me the process of becoming a big?
Yes. It takes a little while. I hate to have people get discouraged by the amount of time that it takes, but we need to make sure that these are good people that we're matching up with the children. So we do a background check on them. We do an interview. We do a home check with them. All in all, it takes about 2 to 3 months, but once they are matched and the match starts, when you start meeting with the child, it ends up being such a fun, feel-good kind of thing that I think it's worth the process.
And you have volunteers from all age ranges, correct?
Yes, we can take volunteers as young as 15, and there's really no age limit at all.
Okay, and there's 4 different programs?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
Could you tell me a little bit about that?
Okay, we have a high school program where the kids in that program, the little brothers and little sisters are between the ages of 6 and 12. The volunteers are between the ages of 15 and 18, and they meet in a supervised setting once a week with the children for an hour and a half. Our community matches entail Westminster students and people from the community, so those are kind of 2 different programs, but they do the same things. They're matched with the children one-on-one, and they take them out in the community and spend 3 hours a week for a minimum of a year time with the children. And then our fourth program is our Club of Unmatched Littles, which are kids waiting to be matched, that we take them and do activities with them once a month and try to get some educational things for them, and then we do crafts and have holiday parties and that kind of thing.
And you really need volunteers.
Absolutely. We always need volunteers.
And you mentioned before that you especially need male volunteers?
Yes, male volunteers are a little bit harder to come by, and the fact that we have more boys growing up without dads, so it seems like we have about 3 times as many boys coming into our program needing a mentor as girls.
Okay, now could you tell me a little bit about the children? Like what ages do they range from?
Anywhere from 6 to 15, depending on the program, and the kids can be referred by their parents, local organizations, Human Service Center, schools, the counselors, principals. They will refer the children to our program also.
Well, thanks for sharing tonight about your organization. I learned a lot, and
me.
it's a great time, the Bowl for Kids' Sake. And once again, if you would like more information about this, you can call them at 724-657-3680, or you can go visit them at 321 North Jefferson Street in Newcastle. Coming up next is more County Line.
I got a filet of sole and a cracked crab for Mr. Studied Higher Math back in school and now can order expensive lunches and charge it to the company.
Next office down the hall.
Well, thanks. Have a good one.
Ralph Hernandez, congratulations! You can now get college loans, government jobs, and job training. Men must register with Selective Service when they turn 18. Go to sss.gov or the post office.
It's the law.
Picture yourself at Westminster College. Westminster offers an educational experience that is second to none. We've been exceeding students' expectations for 150 years. Westminster combines the prestige of a national liberal arts college with the personal attention you deserve. Westminster is a national leader in graduation rate performance and is the most affordable national liberal arts college in Pennsylvania. Visit Westminster's beautiful 300-acre campus to experience an ideal learning environment. Succeed at Westminster College.
The county line will return in 2 weeks with more up-to-date news from Lawrence and Mercer counties.
Our Newsmaker segment is back, and Crystal Schumacher will tell us about the American Cancer Society's Relay for Life.
Spring sports are starting up again, and Sebastian Driver will be back with more Titantown sports from the diamond to the track.
Taking a first look at the Westminster men's tennis team is reporter Amy Dalbon. She tells us how the team is getting ready for their first set of matches.
So join us on Thursday, March the 25th, when the county line returns. Have a good weekend.
Good night.
Justin earning as high as an 8. He's back in the lead.
It's a good dive. Again, he jumps well, gets good top, and he's nice and tight on the lineup.
7-point lead for Justin. At Coon, North Allegheny. Back dive straight, 1.7 degree of difficulty. And his scores are